Welcome to another Sunday Junk Journal Snacks episode. As you can see, I'm continuing to work in my planner in my April section, and I just wanted to start by adding some splatters to these pages for some more interest and contrast. They do dry a lot lighter than they are at the beginning. I am so happy that so many of you wrote in the comments of last Sunday's Junk Journal Snacks videos that you're also happy to join me when I work in this journal. So I might do that like maybe once a month just to kind of keep you in the loop of what I'm doing in my planner as well. So the next few Sundays I'll be back working in my other journals. So I'll just alternate between the three journals that I'm working in basically. And your comments made me so happy because basically so many of you wrote that you don't care in which journal I'm working. Basically you just want to hang out with me, which is like the best compliment a creator can have. And it just, it makes my heart all mushy. So thank you so much. By the way, all the digitals you see here are obviously going to be linked below. Most of these are from my April Peter and the Gang, not Peter, Felix Fox and the Gang kit. And I'm just making a very simple collage here on this tiny scrap of paper that I have in my journal by just tearing out and cutting out some of the images from my kit. Then I wanted to add a tab on that little page, so I tore out a piece from my background paper and it turned out to be a very strange shape, but I decided to just go with that. Looks very organic and I wanted some interest on it, so I'm using my Field Notes Tim Holtz stamps. You'll see those in a moment. But of course, if you don't have stamps like those Field Notes stamps that I'm showing you here, of course, you can either just find some numbers in like a newspaper or a magazine or any piece of junk mail maybe that you have, or maybe you have some number stamps like alphabet stamps and number stamps, and then you just use those. I used to do that before I had this Field Notes set, so there are definitely other options. I love the contrast of the black, and I did want to add some splatters on that as well. Love how cute that turned out. That little bunny is just so adorable. Now I'm going to move on to another page on which I'm going to add a tuck spot. It's another one of those smaller pages, this one here with the tree on the back side. I'm starting off, I think, I'm starting off with the tuck spot. So I'm using one of these rounded shapes that I had in my ephemera this time. And I like having those with the flaps because it makes the tuck spot a little more roomy than if you just glue it down on its sides. Of course, I'm inking everything up with my walnut stain. And then I didn't want to add it to this plain background, so I decided to tear out a piece of that same background. So this is one of my two plainer backgrounds in this kit, and I'm just using my tearing ruler to tear out a rectangle, and after inking that up I will take that to my sewing machine to sew all around that for some more contrast and texture. Love that already. And then I also did the same with my tuck spot, just adding some zigzag stitch around the whole piece and then gluing that down on the two sides. Then I wanted to add some words on it, and I used the words Create Art from my Sentiments Black digital, which you can also find linked below. And again, I just love the contrast of the black on this. And I usually like adding some sort of scrap underneath just to add some more interest there. In this case, it's a piece of washi. Of course, I'm adding some dark splatters for some more contrast. And then I'm adding this envelope. This is from another digital. The envelopes are, I think, bigger than this. I believe I printed them out a little bit smaller. I honestly don't remember right now. But you can find that link below as well. I love these tapestry envelopes. They are super fun. And of course, you can decorate that further as well. Of course, I'm inking everything up. And because the insides always look so plain when you print them out, I'm just adding some stenciling with the Tim Holtz Speckled Egg color that I love. I'm just using these plus signs. I just think that looks so cute, especially because it's in the same color as the print on the front. Super cute. And I'm going to add that to the pocket. It's another day and I'm going to continue working in this, and I'm going to talk directly to the camera this time. As you can see, my nails look differently. I treated myself to a manicure and a haircut this morning. I'm all ready to go. This is too empty for me. I want to do something with that. I'm going to take this cute bear, and I want him there, and I want him kind of sticking out of the page. So before I fussy cut him, I'm going to stick him onto a piece of cardstock. I just want to make sure that the background will work. Yeah, let's use this one. I don't know what's happening to my glue sticks. Look at how globby this is. And Yoo-hoo is usually pretty good. I don't know what's happening. All my glues are acting really weird. My liquid glues are totally runny, like they are glitter glue. Just driving me nuts, which is why I'm not using it. I can only imagine it has to do with the climate. It's pretty frustrating. All cut out and inked up. And I want to try making a tab, but not on the side of the page, more like going over the top of the page, like this. Obviously, I can't make it this big. I do want it quite big on the one side. Yeah, I think I'll keep the width on this one. So I'll just fold it. Then I want a torn edge. And then this one I'm gonna do a lot shorter, so that it can go over like this. Oops, don't want to cover up the apron. Like that, and that will work here as well. And then he can go like that. That works as well. I forgot to ink up the back side. And I'm just going to add a little bit of glue down here so that it stays in place. Same thing here. And then I want to do some hand stitching to stitch that onto the page. Let's see what color would go nicely. We can just stick with a blue or a bluish green. Yep, let's just go with that. And I'm going to pre-poke my holes because I think that's a lot easier then for the sewing part. And I'm just going to make some stitches here on the top because I don't want to really... Well, actually, I could even go lower because this is fine. You know what? I shouldn't do this now. I should first decide what other papers I'm going to collage on here and then stitch over that. That makes a lot more sense. Let's see what kind of scraps my wooden box has for us. So this is wallpaper. Perfect color right there. Here's some fun numbers. These are from the Digital Collage Club. Love that. I think that's it. Sometimes you don't need to do a lot. I'll take my 3-in-1 glue just because I have it right here. And how about some of this beautiful lace? You know, since I have my lace scraps separated from my bigger pieces of lace, I find myself using the scraps a lot more often than I did before. So that makes me happy. I think I need some more. And what I'm really enjoying in this planner, which is something that I don't have in a regular journal, because when you have a journal, you want to make the whole journal cohesive. But with this planner, I'm aiming to make each month in a different style because my kids, of course, are in different styles. So that's been really fun because I get bored of one thing quickly anyway. So this is the perfect solution for me anyway. Yep, I'm good with that. So I'm just gonna glue all those down. I'm just clamping that down until that dries a little bit. And in the meantime, I can poke some holes where I want my stitching. So I think I'll do some crosses. Oh boy, this is difficult. There's so many layers here now. I don't think I'd be able to get through it with my needle. I think I need something more sharp. Okay, I'm gonna try my awl. Much better. I did tie a double knot on the end. So we have the crosses on the one side, and on the other side we have just these lines. And I think even this one kind of enhances the collage. How fun! And then I'm going to try this Distress Stain Tumbled Glass. Add some water and add some drops on this side too. And for some more depth and contrast, I want to add some of my dark watercolor liquid here as well. While that dries, I want to make a fun little belly band. Do I want to make a kitty belly band or a mixture? I think I'll do the mixture one. So first I'm just going to cut out the strip because again, I want to back this with cardstock. I think these pages definitely have a lot more character now. So let's try to find a page for, oh, I think I already have it, for my belly band. I have a scrap of a coffee dyed book page here. And I want to mount this on the book page. So I want to tear it here and here. And then we can take some brads and mount this onto the book page. Let's make a hole first. And of course we need to distress the book page edges as well. And before we put our belly band here, let's add some more interest on the background. Also going to use my walnut stain. And finally, let's finish this off with some more splatters. So now we can put something both in here and in here. And then going back to this envelope here, this is still very plain. I think this tag would fit here, except I don't like the curved top here because that doesn't really fit on this envelope. So let's just trim that off and ink that up. Let's make this into a pocket. So let's make a hole so that we can see that it's a pocket. And it doesn't always have to be in the middle. Let's make the hole down here. Just going to punch a half circle. And since I was too lazy to take this to my sewing machine to run a stitch around it, I'm just going to make a faux stitch now with a black fine liner. I have these envelopes printed out at, I think it was 50%. Maybe this would fit in here. We could have an envelope in an envelope. Can never have enough envelopes. Yep. We could just leave that flap open. Yes. So I just want to stencil something here to get rid of the white. We can just use the same stencil. I think this is the easiest way to decorate the inside of an envelope. Rather than gluing some paper on the inside, this is just so much quicker, and I think it looks really cute. And then let's add some more scraps up here because this is still very plain. This is baking paper. How about one of these numbers? And maybe just a pop of color under that. Yep. So what have we made today? So we've made this tuck spot and this envelope with a pocket and another envelope inside. Still a lot more to do. We made this cute little collage with this tab. We made this cute double belly band. And we've made this fun little flap here. I think this is my favorite piece. Took the longest and it's giving me the most love. And even contributed to the intro page for April. Thanks so much. Love you guys. Mwah, mwah.